Hello students, this is Mahadevan here. This is our first class for 3D modeling and texturing. So the course is gonna go similar to like how we have planned for 3D animation. The only changes that we are gonna have is like the duration of the course is 40 hours. Sorry, 40 classes. So I'll tell you the dates for your exams and the evaluation criteria. So your internal assessment is for 60 marks, where you will be having 3 tests and 20 marks each for each test. So your final exam would be for 40 marks. So your first test will be on week 4, which will be on March 23rd, and it's for 20 marks. Your second test will be on week 8, I think. Yeah. So this is on April 22nd. So your third test will be on week 12, which is on May 27th. Okay. So the dates are confirmed. I will check with the weeks. I think there might be some changes here, but the dates are confirmed. Okay. So this for 20. So altogether, totally you have 60 marks for your internals, and your final exam is for you 40 marks. So today what we'll be discussing is about the introduction for 3D modeling. So we'll be seeing various types of modeling that is used in the industry, and the advantage and the disadvantage of each type of modeling. And we'll be also seeing about various show reels from the people from the industry. So what is the industry trend that is going on today with regard to Hollywood? And we'll be having a small exercise at the end. So we'll be trying to do it in the class, being our first class, and you'll be submitting the exercise to your monitors. So this is the plan for today. So going to the types of modeling, we have 3 basic types. So first one is your polygon modeling. Next one is your NURBS modeling. Third one is your digital sculpting. Okay. So we'll first go and see what is polygon modeling. Okay. In polygon modeling is nothing but poly. When you divide the poly, gon is nothing but the sides. So poly is 4, means 4. So it's like this is called as your mesh. So if you take any part of a mesh, it's made up of 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is the reason this type of modeling is called as polygon modeling. So wherever you take, you'll be having 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So this is the kind of modeling most of the modelers or the industry would prefer, because if your models are in polys, there are little chances that your model might get corrupted or deleted or crashed, or Maya get crashes. Okay. So it is always a good practice that you always keep your model in polys, not on tris. Okay. Tris is nothing but if you are having any part of your model in 3 sides, 3 vertex, you call it as triagonal modeling. Okay. So normally we don't work on tris, we always work on poly, the 4-sided kind of modeling. Okay. So this is the modeling which is in the 0 mode, or it's in a very primitive mode. So when you apply smooth, this is the kind of output you would see. So this is the amount of smoothness Maya tries to apply over the surface for the character. So this is the character applied smooth. So you can see a lot of difference between the detail with which how we work and how Maya tries to add more detail and gives you a realistic kind of effect. Okay. So these kind of low poly models are mainly used in gaming. Okay. So while you're playing a game, it is more important that you need to have a very smooth kind of gameplay without you losing the realism of the realism and the feel of how you are going inside the game. So that is the reason today we are having very powerful graphic card, the processing unit, as well as the display units and the controllers. That is also one of the major reason why the size of the games what you were having before was like around 500 MB to 1 GB, and today one game is taking around 10 GB, 40 GB, and 50 GB. Okay, so more the size of your game, more the realism with which you can play your games. Okay, so if you want more realism, you need to have a powerful graphic card and also a powerful system in order to like compute all the kind of graphical information in real time. Okay, so the olden day kind of games would be not having much of detail, and it will be looking like this, and today's game would be like looking very realistic. I think you people would have played Assassin's Creed. So these kind of games have very kind of hyper realism, okay, which is possible today. So polygon modeling is very useful in creating assets for games. So we also have a software called as 3ds Max, so which has its own kind of inbuilt modeling kind of pipeline through which you can create models for games, and you can also like directly integrate with Unity. Okay, and also for architectural visualization. So Maya is mainly used for creating models and environments for film. So this having, and it can also be collaborated with games as well as for any kind of architectural work. So Maya becomes a very basic platform for any kind of requirement. Okay, so this is about polygon modeling. So this is your NURBS. NURBS stands for non-uniform rational Bezier spline. So I think you people would have worked with your pen tool. So when you click points here and here, and you're trying to bend, you will get a curve, right? So NURBS is nothing but you work by clicking on to the edges of some places and try to create curves wherever you want, and then try to apply the bend or whatsoever. Okay, so if you want to create this detail here, the similar kind of detail with just 4 polygon, it's not practically possible using polygon modeling. But in NURBS, just because you have the option to define the amount of curvature, so you are able to create this kind of realism or the bend, whatever is required, that too without losing much of detail and giving a very kind of realistic smoothness. Can you see here? Okay, with a minimal amount of polygon count. Okay, so that is possible only using your NURBS kind of modeling. Okay, so any kind of devices, like it can range from your cars or the tools you use, your computer gadgets, your keyboard, mouse, or any kind of mobile phones you use, or any kind of gadgets for that matter. So all these kind of design visualizations can be made using NURBS modeling. Okay, Maya is mainly used for Maya with NURBS is mainly used in the film. So you also have specific NURBS modeling such as Modo, CELO. It's a proprietary software from Foundry. So you also have Rhino, which is again a NURBS kind of modeling kind of software. So there are various kind of NURBS platforms which you can learn, and every software has its own kind of advantage. So Maya has its own kind of NURBS modeling here. So next one is your sculpting. Okay, sculpting is nothing but a kind of modeling where you have the base mesh created using your polygon modeling. So for example, if I want to create a samurai like this, I'd be creating the basic kind of face like this. I'll be getting a basic topology like this in Maya using polygon modeling, and I'll be using softwares like ZBrush, where I'll be able to use my mesh as a clay, so that the clay goes inside, comes out, and I can even define the texture of my skin, and all those kind of things can be done using these kind of sculpting software. So the sculpting software is mainly very mesh intensified. So the more amount of detail you have on your character, the more would be the number of polygonal counts on your character. Okay, so lesser the details, lesser the polygons. Okay, so this is the kind of challenge that always comes to people who are working with game asset development, where the detailing is also important. The optimization or the speed of the gameplay is also very important. It's very crucial. So what these people, gamers, do is they create these kind of low polygon mesh, but what they do is they don't create these kind of high detail in the mesh. On the contrary, what they do is they create textures like this, high quality textures, and apply the same kind of visual texture onto these kind of low polygon meshes, so that you are able to achieve 80% to 90% of the same kind of desired output, similar to how you render one frame in Maya, which might even take 6 hours to render. Okay, that too in real time. Okay, so and thereby you are saving a large amount of processing time, and you are able to get a seamless kind of interaction in your game. Okay, so that is the reason, that is the place where Sculpt come into play. But in order to get first understanding of the first output of your character, it is necessary that you need to render it in ZBrush or these kind of sculpting softwares and see how the look and feel of your character is coming out. So there is no other alternative for it. So this is about your sculpting. So you have your polygon, your NURBS, and your sculpting. Okay. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna show you some show reels which are used in the industry, so that you can see what is the kind of effects people have given. So this is the CG show reel from CG Bros. You can see it. This is the shark. This is a concept art. So you have people from look and development or the pre-production team, so who are able to pre-visualize ideas or thought process from the directors that has been given, where you have a face, the front hood of a car modified into like a shark, and it's like a very rustic kind of shark, and it's dead. It's very looking very fearful, so on and so forth. So this is the texture that's been applied. Can you see how many? You can see various layers, so many layers that's been applied there. Lighting. This is another fish. Okay, so what they have done is they've taken the fish, they have tried to incorporate an oil barrel along with the fish. Even the lid of the oil barrel is made look like similar to that of a mouth. So this amount of realism that is expected in the industry. So there are two ways of doing bringing out these kind of realism. One is creating so much amount of detail in your mesh, Or if you are very much constrained with the resources of your system as well as your render time, you can create the similar kind of realism using textures and apply it on your model. Okay, so both the things are possible. So it's a call as an artist, like which one you want to make. So even though if you are modeling it, your lighting and rendering brings out all these kind of colorful patterns back to life. Else, as a modeler, you will be only working on the gray kind of color tone. You can see the details here. So these are the various kind of iterations or the design ideas, the changes, the possibilities that your conceptualization goes through. See here, it's like the mouth is like so much elongated here. The mouth is not so much elongated, it's the opposite of it. And it's look like very sleepy kind of, very dull kind of fish here. And the tail is totally torn here. Again, it's like torn here. Again, it's hurt badly, having a lot of scars. So all these becomes a various process. The gut, the skeletal structure, the bone structure of your fish. Again, this is the sculpting. So they start with the head, they try to add more detail. So it's like adding clay and creating shapes, adding texture, and this is your final character output. बस रिकॉर्ड பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். So this is the amount of detail which we are trying to recreate. So these can be textures, but this cannot be a model because creating this much amount of detail is not practically possible. So things like organic elements like this, which is like totally out of the human mind. So these things can be only recreated using textures. So it comes into handy play. Again, these kind of patterns can be only created using textures. This is the person who has created it. So we'll go to the next showreel. So I'm trying to show various kind of showreels, so you know where the industry is going today. See the amount of detail here. This would be sculpting and a lot of so much amount of detailing, wires, all this. So similar to Photoshop, you have a lot of plugins and add-ons that will help you to create this kind of detailing in your model. Normally creating these kind of tubes, these kind of wires, it's going to be a very kind of challenging task in Maya, and also these kind of spikes, and getting creating mechanical objects like this. For example, the gears, the chains, the pulleys, the bolts and nuts, and integrating it into a single kind of entity is gonna be a very tiring job. But similar to like filters, whatever you have in Photoshop or AE, if you are having the some plugins, it can be done in a very short period of time. So you will be going step by step with regard to it. This is the whole model with the mesh. Can you see everything is polygon, polygon, polygon. Let's see the next show reel. This is done in 2015. See the amount of detail. So this this much amount of detailing with regard to the skin texture, the kind of tattooing, the hair dressing, the costume, the jewelry and its apparels, everything can be done using ZBrush. This is the mesh topology for this boy. This is for the elephant, the texture, the mesh, base mesh. This is the armor for a soldier or for a samurai, I don't know. Then for a warrior. Mostly for an Englishman. Textured. Sword, the stick, horse, the dog, Doberman Spinker, lion, the amount of detailing here over the costumes here, the details here. So, as a modeler, you mainly work on these kind of grayscale tones. If you're a texturing artist, you mostly work on colors. So, modelers and animators never see colors. Okay, it's a very sad story, but still, we are the creators. Okay, so this is about the various kind of show reels. So hope you people have got an idea like what are the various three types of modeling. So today's exercise, we are gonna create the basic Lego brick. Okay, so we'll need to jump to Maya. So I'm having Maya 2020. If you're having any kind of older version, that's fine, but see to it you save your files always in Maya ASCII. Okay, so when you're working with any kind of Maya file, it's important you save your file and keep working. At any given point of time, see to it at various stages you do a progressive save. Okay, so which will help you to go back and get your files back if Maya crashes, else it's gonna be a very big problem. You need to restart again. So Maya sometimes gives you fatal errors. My system is not working. Yeah, thank God. Okay, so just because we are gonna work on modeling, so what I'm gonna do here is keep my tab to modeling. So I'm gonna minimize my screen here. We're gonna make this bigger, make this one smaller. Okay, this is my viewport, so I'll minimize this. So make this smaller so that I can see both. Okay, boom. Okay, so I'm having a cylinder here. Can you see? Okay, I'm having some cylinder and I'm having a big rectangle. Okay, so I need to create shapes. First one, you have in polygon modeling, you have surface, you have polygon. So for starting, we'll create polygon. Just click on it, it comes here and it displays. So you can go to your channel box, you can see the parameters here. Translate is when you click on W, you get your 3 axes. Your top one is your Y, up and down. Your horizontal is your X. Sorry, this is your Z. Your red is your, okay, here. Okay, your horizontal is your X axis. Your up and down is always your Y. Your depth is always your Z. Okay, so that's how your 3D world is always set. So when you click Alt and your right mouse button and you drag it to your left and right, so you can zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so here I'm having my cube, but I need to go to my attribute editor here. Okay, now you have your polycube. So this defines the properties of this cube here. Okay, so this is the number of segments that is there for your width. So if you want to increase it, just click on it, just send a mouse click, the scroll, and then increase it or decrease it. So this is your width and your height. You can also input values here. This can be 1 or it can be even 7. Okay, whatsoever. So I'm trying to create this one. Okay, so it has height divisions more. Okay, so this will be 1, which is fine. So height divisions can be 3. Okay, too much. We have it at 2. Okay, fine. Depth would be still more lesser, 0.5. Okay, just rotate it and see. That's okay. It's fine. Click on it. So W is for your move. Next to the W you have your E, that is your rotate. Okay, when you click your rotate, you can rotate your axis. So you can rotate an x-axis up and down. You can rotate in your y-axis. Okay, you can rotate in your z. Okay, right now this is tilted here, so I want to tilt it in my x. Can you see it? Yes. Yeah, it's done. Okay, so before doing it, I want to keep it like this because I want to attach these kind of cylinders to this one and then rotate it all together. Okay, so the similar nearest match is this one. Click the cylinder, you get a big cylinder. Okay, so I don't want it so big, I want it smaller. So the radius can be decreased, which will be 0.3, okay, or 0.25 or 0.2 or 0.15. So totally depends upon like how much you want. Okay, then polycylinder, the height can be 0.2. I'm just typing in some values. Take it near. So now zooming in, I want this cylinder to be placed here. So next one, I don't want so much amount of subdivision axis here, so minimize the number of subdivisions. Okay. Okay, so 15 would be fine. Okay, so next one, I want to rotate this one. Okay, E is the shortcut, rotate X. Okay, so this needs to be 90 degrees. Okay, translate 0. Okay, it's not matching here. Need to match it. Okay, so if you want to know whether it's perfectly aligned or sitting on top of this one, so you need to go to your orthographic views. Okay, so the way or the shortcut how to go to your orthographic view is panels, orthographic, side, or your front. Panel, orthographic, side. Okay, so just zoom in. You can see where the cylinder is placed, but you cannot see whether it's going in or out. Just press 4 in your keyboard. This is your rectangle, and this is your cylinder. So when you zoom in, you can see it's overlapping here. Can you see two things overlapping? So just click on this, move slightly outside. So now it's perfectly fine. So just press 5. It is sitting on top. Just press spacebar, you will come out. Click on the model. So just go to your orthographic front. In your front view, you can align your objects like this. So the shortcut for copy and pasting objects is Control D, duplicate. So you can copy, paste it. It's not working. Perspective, perspective. Okay. Control D. Yeah, it's working. But why it did not work before? I don't know. So Maya is not listening, or some other problem. Perspective, perspective. I have it. Oh my god. Yeah, this one looks better. Okay, my boxes. So I will move this somewhere outside. So I need to see my 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, yeah, 2. Just need to think whether I need the height so much, or you can go to the poly cylinder. Okay, poly cylinder. So the height can be 0.1. Oh my god, another copy is also there. Delete. So now bring it here, keeping it roughly. So what I'll do is Control D, I'll take it out. 1, 2. Press Shift and select it. Control D. Okay. Control D. Duplicate. So I'm getting a copy. So now press Shift and select the 4. Control D. So you'll get another 4. Okay. So now you have got this Lego kind of thing. So if you want to apply any kind of color, what you need to do is select all. Okay, so go to rendering, like hyper shade. Okay, just click on this one and select the color. Go to yellow, choose the yellow. Getting it? This was done. It's there for you. Okay, so once this is done, select all. Okay, or to say select, just press group. Okay, so when you group it, you can move all the objects together. Okay, so how to select a group? First click on the shortcut is Control G. Okay, ungroup. What you need to do, edit, ungroup. So everything becomes single objects. So if you want to group all and rotate or scale together, select all, edit, group. So once you create a group, you can select any object, just press up arrow. You can select the group and you can easily move it. You can also rotate it. Okay, so you can place it. Fine. So today's exercise would be for you to create similar kind of cubes and place it one above each other. Okay, however it's seen here. So then what you need to do, go to file, go to save scene as, desktop, choose like exercise 1, sorry, your register number underscore your name, and you save it as my ASCII file. Share it with your class monitor and he will give it to me. Okay, so this is your exercise for today. So hope you people can create this basic Lego toy shape. Okay, so it needs to be placed in the same kind of angle, same kind of placement. All these details should be there. So try creating this and submitting the file to your class monitor for today. Okay, have a great day guys. Any doubts you can ask me. Thank you.